Hey everyone, welcome to another Tales of Xillia. Last time we learned what really happened to Elise. We learned that she grew up in this laboratory right here in the Library Hollow. We fought off Exodus. Tipo is not Tipo anymore. Elise just ran off. Her parents were murdered, and she was sold off as a lab rat. Now we will lead off this episode with the character's kit.
How bad is your wound?
Well, I failed at the job I was sent to do, and now you guys are here. The wound to my pride might be mortal.
And now you've betrayed Exodus too.
Yeah, well, don't worry about that. For all you know, I might have even staged all that.
You're just the traitor type, aren't you?
Yep, that's just who I am.
Well, regardless, thanks for risking your life for us.
My. You really are the honor student type.
Yeah, that's just who I am.
It's okay, Alvin. We know you love us all. The mercenary client privilege.
I don't understand. What did Exodus take from Tipo?
Alvin?
Answering that would violate the mercenary client privilege, but whatever. I imagine they swiped his data memory. Basically, boosters need a compatible partner. And they said they'd never seen a more compatible match than Elise and Tipo. So I bet the data Tipo recorded is gonna be a big deal in the world of booster development.
But what does Exodus want with boosters when they already have Spyrix?
Sorry, I don't know the answer to that. But we do know one thing.
Indeed. It certainly can't be anything good.
The boosters might boost up the damage of the Spyrixes without just using the mana from the Spyrix from mana levels alone. I could barely stock apparently nowadays. But now it shall pay. Exodus went too far
How is
on
she
this.
doing?
She's fine. Well, as fine as can be expected, given what she's learned. Anyway, this place is dangerous. Let's get back to the city.
And you're right. Elise's stalker.
So what's the deal with that giant guy and Elise? Is that her stalker or something?
What's a stalker?
It's like when someone's super obsessed with everything you do and follows you around.
I see. So you would be Jude's stalker, for example.
What?
Get called on.
Mila, how could you?
Doesn't it seem like that man knows the truth about Elise's past?
Zhao seemed very concerned about Elise's well-being, but I don't know why.
Zhao, you say? I've heard that name before.
He might be a warrior of some renown. He has a remarkable talent for controlling monsters.
Interesting.
Yes, he does. Well, I guess you could say Zhao was Elise's father. I mean, sort of like a father figure for Elise. That's how I'd put it for her. No, I don't want to do those. I want to finish up everything here first. Take longer. I want to finish up everything. And let's see here. But yeah, this gives me the time to talk about everything. The characters feel... The character Elise feels so real about people's problems though. And I truly love Elise. She's probably one of my favorite characters in the Tales of series. I'll meet you all back in Jundu. Well, nah, I'm just gonna quit travel. That's right, quick traveling is the thing.
Something on your mind?
Huh?
You haven't been yourself since we spoke to Zhao.
Yeah.
I heard you followed the bad guys into the hunting grounds. I was worried.
Well, it was an eventful manhunt, but we made it back in one piece.
I'm so sorry you all got dragged into this. What a horrible coincidence.
Isla, you can drop the act.
What do you mean? I really was worried about you. Why would I lie about that?
Jude, what are you saying?
I'm saying it was no coincidence we met Isla. Remember what those locals told us when the bell rang for the finals? At tournament time, any outsiders are either combatants or spectators.
Right. I recall what she said when she came to help us.
You folks don't look like you're from around here. What brings you to town?
No one here would need to ask that. Not at tournament time. You were ordered to make contact with us. By Exodus.
Isla, that's not true, is it?
They said you'd never find out. They promised. But I had no choice in the matter.
They blackmailed you, didn't they? They know your secret.
Your former occupation.
They asked, wouldn't it be a shame if Jurgen found out? What happened to the girl breaks my heart. But I had no choice back then either. Please don't tell Jurgen.
He doesn't know.
How could I tell him? He's a good man.
But it's all in the past, isn't it? Your fiancé should know these things.
You're a woman. How can you not understand this? I'm damaged goods. If he found out about my past, he'd leave me. I finally found happiness with Jurgen. For once in my life. Please. Don't tell him. Please.
I doubt I'll ever understand human love. It has so many rules and conditions. What should we do, Elise? You decide.
Me? Why do I have to?
This woman's actions affected you far more than us.
There's nothing I can do to make it up to you. But please, forgive me.
I just don't care anymore. Elise is all alone now, no matter what you do. We better try to find Jurgen. We need to talk to him about the wyverns.
What's wrong, kid?
Isla said there was nothing she could do to make it up to Elise. But did she actually try? Is there really nothing she can do?
Isla is the only one who can answer that question.
Well, I mean, she could have adopted Elise. Made her try to raise her as her own child. But the thing is mistakes already been made. People pay for other people's mistakes as well. This is where the story gets really strong and heavy hitting too.
Sounds like they allow wagering at the Shandu Coliseum. Want to give it a shot?
Leia really loves to gamble.
Count me out.
That's surprising. You seem like the type who would enjoy that sort of thing.
Gambling's a big thing in my hometown. I've seen it go wrong time and time again.
Oh, come on! We'd just be doing it for fun.
The folks who lose their shirts all start out saying that. It's the first rule of betting. If you're just goofing around, don't gamble. If you want to gamble, don't goof around.
So, in other words...
Only gamble when you're willing to stake everything.
Exactly.
Little dramatic, don't you think?
If you really want to play, I'm not going to stop you. Just some friendly advice.
Alvin sure got serious all of a sudden.
Maybe we should take his advice.
Yeah, let's skip the gambling.
Well, I mean, he takes the gamble every time. Just being with you guys. You know that?
Maybe I should pay a quick visit.
A visit to where?
Oh, did you overhear that? It's nothing. Just an acquaintance who lives here is all.
An acquaintance who lives here. I don't know who he's talking about. But I'm pretty sure he means us to go probably to his mother.
Who's this?
My mother. She's not doing too well. I don't have a father or any siblings, so I have Violet look after her when I'm not around.
He told us this already.
Well, hello.
Hi.
It's nice to see you, Balin. Slipped out of your house to come play, did you? What a shame that Alfred isn't here to play with you now. Where did that boy go off to?
What is she talking about?
Leticia, Alfred's away at boarding school, remember?
Oh, yes, that's right. That poor boy must be crying his eyes out. He's so shy, and he always gets so lonely.
Don't worry. He sent a letter saying he's fine.
Oh, yes, and that he'll come home for his next break. I promised we'd take a trip on the big boat when he does.
I know. Alfred said he can't wait to go.
You know what he said in his letter? He said he hoped that I wasn't crying. Isn't that funny? He's such a kind, thoughtful boy.
Being away from her hometown has been tough on her. And my dad dying didn't help. All she talked about was how she wanted to go back home to the house we all lived in. Maybe she's happier now that she's forgotten all about that life.
Oh.
You've been doing all this for your mother?
Yep. All these dirty jobs, it was all for Mommy. Touching tale, isn't it?
Alvin, you don't have to be like this.
Spare me your sympathy. It's all rotten in the end. It's enough to drive me crazy myself.
Excuse me.
Got something to say?
Listen. You know that I was an orphan too, right? If I hadn't gotten involved in that line of work, I never would have survived my childhood.
In other words, don't say anything to Jurgen.
Also, I don't want to look after Leticia anymore. And I want you to tell Exodus to leave me alone.
I'm afraid I can't do that. Only Exodus can make the medicine my mother needs. And you're the only doctor shady enough to prescribe it.
I don't want to do this anymore. I want to go straight.
Sorry. But I think it's a fair price for keeping my mouth shut.
How could you? All I want is to live happily with Jurgen.
And you can. As long as he doesn't find out about your past. All done.
But she's crying.
Yeah, she's a big old crybaby.
We're just gonna leave her like that?
If you're so worried, go console her. Comfort the poor, tragic princess.
Yeah. Letitia has Alzheimer's. Isla wants to get out of her shady life and start a new life with Jurgen.
Remember that beautiful woman I saw you speaking to in Shandu?
Carla? What about her?
How odd that you never bothered to introduce me.
Do you want to meet her?
What's this? There's someone you want me to meet? Oh, my. Well, I suppose it would be rude to refuse.
What? Thank you, Rowan. Thank you, Rowan, for getting me out of this dark situation.
No sign of Jurgen.
I hope Elise is okay.
Something has been troubling me about these booster devices. Do you remember the experiment Noctigal was conducting at Fort Gondola? Might that have been a test of the booster's capabilities?
You're suggesting Rashagal already has booster technology as well.
That would be a logical conclusion.
That's not good. Even kids like Elise are strong if they have boosters.
If both countries were to wage war with booster-equipped soldiers, it would be a catastrophe unlike any the world has ever seen.
Would they really risk having such a destructive war?
Noctigal might. He seems convinced that he could actually win.
Especially since he has the Lance of Kresnik.
Oh, here you are. Isla told me you were back in town. I'm so relieved to find you safe.
Thanks.
Are the wyverns you promised us ready to ride yet?
Yes, but there's a hitch. Now that we're on the brink of war, we can't fly the wyverns without royal permission. For that, I'll need to head to the capital, Canbalar.
Hey, maybe we should warn the King of Azul how ugly things will get if war breaks out.
The king does seem pretty popular. Do you think maybe he'd fight alongside us?
Whoa, hold on. This is a war we're talking about here, not a tavern brawl.
I'd like a face-to-face chat with the king myself, but for a different reason. I want to ask him for the truth behind the laboratory. It's crucial that we meet the King of Azul. We'll head for Canbalar right away.
Okay. I'll get my things together.
What does Mila mean by the truth behind the laboratory?
Apparently, Elise wasn't the only kid they kept at that place. Lots of other children were brought there too.
Did Zhao tell you that?
If the king truly wishes to protect his people, he'll give me the answer I seek. If he gives me the wrong answer, I'll remind him of his duty. I'll make him swear to never resort to such methods again, by any means necessary.
Good idea. Let's go pick the king's brain. Oh, I just remembered. All our luggage is back at the inn.
Let us go fetch it.
I'll catch up with you in a bit.
Alvin. You did well back there. I knew I could trust you to protect Elise for us.
Well, I was prepared to honor my promise. Keep the faith, oh hallowed spirit.
Never a dull moment with that guy.
Soon enough,
All right.
I'll have to prepare myself too.
Huh?
I am strong enough to destroy the Lance of Kresnik as I am now, without the Four's power.
Wait, you sure it's a good idea to destroy it with the 4 great spirits still trapped inside?
They would likely not survive. They would lose their forms and disintegrate.
But I thought the 4 great spirits couldn't die.
Eventually, new great spirits will appear to take their place. But they will be a different 4, with different wills.
So that means the 4 great spirits that you know, the ones that were always with you, they would just disappear?
A spirit's personality and memories are unimportant. What matters is a spirit's existence itself. Still, I doubt the 4 will forgive me for this.
You really care about all spirits, don't you? Not just the great 4, but the lesser spirits too.
Not just spirits, humans as well. To me, all lives, human and spirit, are equal and precious.
Let's head for Canbelar.
Well, we're certainly taking a toll here with everything going on in Zandu, right?
Exodus has slipped through our fingers.
There's nothing we can do about that now. They must be as desperate as we are, given their behavior.
And what do you intend to do about Alvin?
If we send him away, he'll only follow us. And we can't neutralize him by force without risking our own lives. Therefore, the safest solution is to keep him where we can see him. Besides, for good or for ill, that man has the power to change the circumstances of any situation. That is not a power to be dismissed lightly.
Nor is the wisdom of the Lord of Spirits.
Do you ever think about Niakara?
Ivor will protect it in my absence. There's no need to worry about the village's safety.
Oh, I wasn't asking about that. What I meant is, do you ever get homesick?
Oh. Sometimes I do miss the purity of Niakara air.
Well, if you ever want to go back, just say the word.
Yes, we could always just skip travel there.
Are you okay? We should stop and rest.
No, I'm fine.
You shouldn't push yourself.
Yes, let's all go take a rest.
You don't look so good. Maybe we should take a few days off.
No, we can't afford to do that.
Ooh, ow! Such agony. I think I just threw out my back again.
Oh no! My, acute hiccup disorder. It's totally flaring up.
That sounds pretty serious. You two need to get some rest.
Please!
Cute hiccup disorder.
Yes, please. Ow, ow, ow!
Very well. I'd hoped to get an early start tomorrow, but I guess we can push our departure back a bit.
Mila cares less for herself, but cares great for others. Like a true leader should.
Does your asperixis still hurt?
No, not as much as before.
Before? Before it was so bad that you passed out from the pain.
Without the asperixis, I wouldn't be able to stand, let alone walk and fight. To me, there is no greater pain than having something to do and being unable to do it. Thanks to this, I can do what I have to. The pain is a small price to pay.
Mila is such a great leader.
How's Mila doing?
She's pushing herself too hard.
Mila's so composed that it's easy to forget sometimes. But the fact is, she's making a difficult journey after suffering a terribly debilitating injury.
And taking it easy doesn't seem to be in her vocabulary.
If only there was some way to alleviate her pain. Even just a little.
If only we had a heart herb.
Oh, of course. Heart herbs are renowned for their ability to relieve pain.
Yeah, I learned about them in my pharmacology class. When used in aromatherapy, they're supposed to ease the tension in both body and mind.
They're also rare, bordering on extinction. I wanted to get a heart herb for a special lady once, but I couldn't find one anywhere.
I'm sure it won't be easy to find, but I want to try, for Mila's sake.
This group of characters are so realistic. I love them all for this. We're just doing submission after submission too, huh?
Sorry, I wasn't able to speak with you earlier. I'm Carla Outway. It's lovely to meet you.
I'm Mila.
Rowan, a pleasure to meet you.
Carla's a historian and a teacher.
That's very admirable of you.
Not at all. And how about you? You won the tournament, right? That makes Elise one of the youngest winners ever.
Really?
Remember what I told you about Master Hemming? He won his first tournament when he was 14. And until Elise showed up, his record was never officially broken.
And what about unofficially?
An astute question. Unofficially, the youngest person to win the tournament did so at 12, the same age as Elise. He was a young boy who fought his way to the final match alone without even using a Lilium orb.
Are you sure he wasn't a spirit?
No, of course he wasn't. His name was Erston Outway.
Erston Outway? Is he related to you?
My brother. This happened 20 years ago.
But why wasn't his victory officially recognized?
Our father was the chief of the Outway tribe. But we were a small tribe, and the other tribes used their influence to change things the way they saw fit. That's just how it was back then.
So you're saying his win was taken away?
Yes, it was his opponent's doing. He belonged to a tribe that was very close to the king.
20 years ago. That would place it before the dawn of Azure. Before the current king took the throne, the chiefs of several large tribes ruled alongside his predecessor.
Many people were killed back then, but our current king put a stop to that.
I see.
Anyway, I have an important errand to run. See you all again soon.
Imagine having a hard-fought victory erased like that. I wonder how Carla's brother felt.
I used to be quite a martial artist myself. I defended my position as the Army's second strongest fighter throughout my military career. If it were me who was robbed like that, I'd have hunted down my opponent and thrashed him again when no one was looking.
Rowan, you play pretty dirty.
So what would you do in that situation?
Me? I can't even imagine.
Well, we learned a lot about character background history. We learned about the world's background history as well. It's quite interesting nonetheless. This world's a fantastic place filled with unique and interesting characters. And these people live such interesting lives themselves. They're all rather unique.
Your family runs a hotel, right? Yep, the finest in Lorand.
I don't believe we saw more than a single hotel in our entire time there.
That's false advertising. It is not. It's perfectly factual.
Well, having a high-spirited girl like you behind the counter can't be bad for business.
Got that right. In fact, I'm putting together a new package to pull in the tourists. Oh, what is it? First, my mom will pound out their tension points with one of her chiropractic bow staff massages. That sounds painful. Then, a complimentary bowl of Dad's famous Hammerzam stew.
Hammerzam? Aren't those the monsters in the mines?
It's a great deal, and I'll even give you guys the off-season discount.
Ah, that sounds lovely, but I'll have to respectfully decline.
Me too.
Wait, Tipo. I thought you didn't have... I guess it's technically still Elise's subconscious talking for her. I guess. But anyway, I'm going to leave this episode off here, guys. If you liked it, please leave a comment. Keep telling me how I can keep on improving. If you really like this real drama, like goddamn, I honestly wanted to cry for the last 2 episodes. It's been painful, honestly. The story's been taking such a toll on me. I honestly forgot all about the story. It's been such a long time since I played it. I'm loving it all over again. Alright, well, I'll see all of you in the next episode.